Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, to the second semifinals game here at the LAKC. We are here at UMKC, and boy, do we have a good one here for you. Shawnee Mission East versus Northland in the second game here tonight. And what are you looking forward to here, Jack, between the two teams?
I mean, Shawnee Mission East has been the most dominant team the entire year. They've destroyed everyone basically in our league. They haven't really played a close game. I think their closest game was 7 goals. But Northland's getting hot at the right time. They had a lot of injuries this year. They lost a couple close ones. They avenged their loss last week and absolutely destroyed Blue Valley Southwest 18-7. And I think they're getting hot at the right time. The key to their season will just be Isaac Hen winning faceoffs. Both these teams have dominant attackmen. Jake Fisher for Northland, Griffin Freeze, obviously, Marquette commit for Shawnee Mission East. I think it's going to be an offensive battle, unlike what we saw last game, which was a much more defensive-heavy game with a low-scoring game. But whoever wins this game will go on to face Rockhurst, and that'll be a huge matchup.
Yep.
Friday night?
Yeah, Friday night. Yeah, so Rockhurst just beat Pembroke earlier, 10-8 in a very close game. Well fought by both programs, and we're looking forward to tonight. Two players that you got to keep out and look for is Cade Eldred and Griffin Freeze. Combined together this season, they have 199 points together. And boy, what kind of duo is that? That's unbelievable.
What are the odds those two break 200 tonight?
No, I'm going to call that high.
Yeah.
I'm putting my money on that for sure. But when you look at Northland, too, they got some guys returning back tonight, too. They got Fisher and Melvin. Melvin, who's been fighting mono, apparently, for the last few weeks, and Fisher, who was injured, is coming back to the lineup tonight. So that's big news as well. But I was fortunate enough to talk to Coach Davis last night, talking about what his keys are to winning the game. And what he said, it starts all with the first face-offs, setting the tone, making sure that you got everything going on right with the wings, and getting that first possession under their belt, getting the nerves out of the way, making sure everything's all good with that. Secondly, he said, on top of winning the first face-off, he wants to have a really big first quarter. He wants to make sure that Shawnee Mission East doesn't get the opportunity to even get out in front large with the lead. So they want to have a good first face-off as well as a good first quarter and getting out there. And lastly, Northland needs to get their slides down, especially that second slide. Shawnee Mission East has phenomenal ball movement. A lot of their dodgers keep their head up just amazingly when they're dodging down the alley or going through the middle. And what they're able to do is pass that ball to the backside where that second slide is. So if Northland can keep that ball or keep the ball on the outside and having that second slide be available if the first slide goes, I feel like Northland might have some success shutting down Shawnee Mission East's offense tonight.
I think Shawnee Mission East, although they've had a lot of guys who have been here before, they did lose a lot of seniors last year. So although they've kind of ran over a lot of teams, that could be somewhat of a detriment to their team, because if they get in a situation where Northland has that big first quarter, it's going to be how does this team respond? I think it's going to come their senior leadership to do that. So I think we're going to cut to a quick break right now, and then we'll come back right before the start of the game with a couple game picks. All right, welcome back, everyone. Jack Mahoney here with two Rock U commits, Jake Fasella and JP Tomasco. Good to see you, boys. I just wanted to first ask you, Jake, what's your opinion about the game tonight? Who do you think's gonna win? What do you think's gonna go down?
I got East in a blowout. If I'm being honest, I think Griffin Freeze on the offense would just be too much for him.
JP?
I also have to go with East. I'm saying 13-7, or Shawnee Mission East. I think G Freezy is just too much for the Spartans to handle.
All right, to play devil's advocate, say Northland starts winning faceoffs. Say they start getting a lot of possessions. Jake Fisher, another Rock U commit, high-level recruit, starts getting a couple goals in the back of the net. Do you think because East hasn't really handled as much adversity in Kansas City, they'd be a little thrown off, especially with their younger core of midfielders?
I think this is an opportunity to do it. They haven't really been tested that much this year in Kansas City, and I wouldn't count them out, but this is the time to do it.
I agree completely with Jake. I think Fisher is fully capable of proving us all wrong and going out there and getting the dub.
All right, boys. You know I love you guys. Thank you for coming up.
Of course.
We'll cut back to inside the booth in a little bit, and we'll get ready for game time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to cut it right now to our PA addresser, Jay Coleman, for the starting lineups and the roster lineups.
Junior number 11, Jake Lumen. Senior number 12, Quinn Hall. Junior, number 13, Cole Nelson. Junior, number 14, David Pileggi. Senior, number 15, Derek Slaughter. Sophomore, number 16, Christian West.
Can they hear?
They can't hear. I don't think they can hear
17,
Jay.
freshman, Marshall Moore.
The PA.
18, junior, Ethan Hunt. Number 19, junior, Jaden Christensen. Senior, number 20, Michael Johnson. Sophomore, number 21, Drew Gentry. Senior, number 27, Drake Allen. Senior, number 30, Cordell Pelham. Now to announce the starting lineup for Northland. Number 1, junior, Jack Vandeven. Number 2, sophomore, Parker Jones. Number 3, sophomore, Hunter Smith. Number 5, senior, Isaac Henn. Junior, number 10, Matthew Mulak. Senior, number 22, Bryce Rigdon. Sophomore, number 24, Jacob Schreck. Senior, number 25, Connor Jones. Senior, number 26, Jake Fisher. Senior, number 28, Charlie Duffy. Head coach, Scott Davis. And now for the starting lineup of Shawnee Mission East. Or the, not starting lineup, the non-starters, sorry. Senior, number 4, Abe Laughlin. Sophomore, number 6, Zeke Johnson. Senior, number 8, Dan Scott. Junior, number 9, Will Moore. Senior, number 10, Jack Burkhead. Senior, number 11, Bobby Cusick. Senior, number 12, Hank Breckenridge. Senior, number 14, William Brusso. Sophomore, number 16, Jacob Johnson. Sophomore, number 17, Clay Fott. 18, senior, Corbin Carroll. Number 20, junior, James Stowers. Number 22, senior, Peter Grimm. Number 23, senior, Tyler Stottle. Number 24, sophomore, Ryan Stair. Number 26, junior, Caden Rigg. Number 27, junior, Joe Kraus. Number 28, junior, Coleman Wham. Senior, number 32, Conley Needens. Sophomore, number 36, Zach Beal. Sophomore, number 36, Sullivan Gotch. Senior, number 42, Eric Bloomquist. Junior, number 44, J.J. Ruff. And now for the starters. At attack, sophomore, number 1, Cade Eldred. Senior at attack, number 2, Charles Borgner. Number 3, senior at attack, Griffin Freeze. On defense, senior, number 5, Henry Mahaffey. At midfield, number 15, senior, Tyler Jones. At long stick midi, number 21, junior, Tommy Pollock. At goalie, number 29, junior, Philip Clemente. On defense, number 30, junior, Tommy Foster. At midfield, sophomore, number 33, Will Wynn. And last, senior number 34, Joseph Moore, defense. Head coach Will Garrett. The referees for tonight's game are Stott Patterson, William Valdivia, Michael Walker. Chris Harris is the bench referee.
And welcome back, folks. After the introductions, the team starting lineups are going to get out to the middle of the field and meet with each other, go with the refs, talk about some of the rules, go as a split off. We're going to start ball here. You're pretty excited here, Jack and Pat?
I'm definitely really excited. I think Northland if they can come out swinging, they can make this a game. They have a really good goalie who I played with for many summers. He was on my travel team, and he has had some of the best games I've ever seen. If he's on like he can be on, then they'll have a chance in this game. And the other way, Philip Clemente, Shawnee Mission East goalie, is a second-team All-Metro player. Largely, he had amazing stats, almost a 70% save clip percentage. So here's that ever so crucial first face-off that Coach Scott Davis of Northland talked to us about
Facing off
last
for
night.
Shawnee Mission East, number 33, Will Wynn.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle here today.
For Northland, number 5, Isaac Henn.
It's gonna come down to Northland's defense just doing the best fundamental team D they can against a high-powered Shawnee Mission East offense. Especially with against Cade Eldred and Griffin Freeze, 199 points between the two of them on the season. It might be a bit of a show for number 1 and number 3 here in white tonight.
As the first face-off happens,
It
ball
looks
kind of
like
goes out into the sideline.
East
and
ball.
It's gonna start with East. And they're going to look to set up here their offense and coming out here pretty fast and hot.
Will Moore at the ball.
Shot just a little bit wide.
And what you'll see from East is just a ton of players, a ton of movement. Anyone could dodge. Anyone can shoot. Here's sophomore Cade Eldred. Looks like he's going to take a dodge.
This first possession here is so crucial for the offensive guys so they can test their matchups, get a vibe for how their defenders are playing them, and then make a kind of move after that. As there's a flag down already in the first minute of the game, and Shawnee Mission East is going to look to go man up here unless they can convert. Cade Elder with the shot just wide. And Shawnee Mission East is going to start with a man up here pretty early in the game.
And on a team like Shawnee Mission East, you just can't go man down. No mistakes. That's the only way to win. And, again, one of their best pulls, I think it was Bryce Rigdon, who is their best pull, who got the penalty. Actually, no, it was not him. He's number 22. But, again, with a smaller team like Northland, you got to try and keep your best pulls in at all time. And Shawnee Mission East has a great man-down play. Just a lot of lethal shooters.
So as Shawnee Mission East gets the ball and starts to spin it around the perimeter. Looks they have a good play in mind. Skip pass across the backside. Shot. Goal!
Abe Laughlin puts in the first goal for Shawnee Mission East.
And how important is that to get a goal on the board that early within the first just over a minute of the game, Rob?
It's crucial, you know. The momentum is going to be big and seeing how it kind of swings back and forth. But Coach Scott Davis of Northland talked to me last night and was saying, you know, the big thing is going to be trying to set the tone early in the first quarter, and that definitely is going to hurt them. And as we look to the next face-off,
You see Dan Leff, coach of Shawnee Mission East, animated on the sideline right next to the pylon. That's another face-off win for Shawnee Mission East.
they look to get into the box and settle possession here. As Cade Eldred gets the ball again and looks to get their personnel on the field with their offensive midfielders.
Not trying to rush anything, making sure they got their offense set up. Everything's going to be calculated.
Here's
from
Abe
space.
Laughlin again.
Little draw and dump there. push from XU from Shawnee Mission East. And it looks like
Ward, possibly?
a Ward or
I believe it might be a
Ward.
Ward, which is a big because I think they were about to have a step-down shot again for Shawnee Mission East.
So Northland will get their first possession of the game as the goalie carries it out, throws an errant pass. Shawnee Mission East picks it up. The net is wide open. The goalie rushes back as Cade Eldred gets the ball, shoots off the pipe. And it looks like Northland player is going to be closer to the ball, and they're going to gain possession back.
Goalie's best friend, that pipe right there.
So Northland's going to get the ball back again. Crossfield pass to long pole. As he goes down, ref calls it a fair play.
Shawnee Mission East just with possession again. Ball hasn't even gone on Northland side of the field yet. Triple team? Something you'll see from Shawnee Mission East offense is just an incredible amount of movement. There's never someone just standing still. You're always going to see people moving around, checking in and out of the crease, giving their dodgers open lanes where they only have to go through one guy. Because around here, there's always usually a one slide from crease, but when you change that up a little bit, it really screws with the defense. So that's what they do. You're going to see movement on every dodge.
Feed inside for Shawnee Mission East, shot and goal.
Cade Eldred. There's 200 between Griffin and Cade.
There it is. Shawnee Mission East makes it 2-0 early in the first quarter against Northland. And if you're Northland right here, you're just hoping to get some kind of offensive possession. You're getting the ball on the offensive side of the field. And
Just a chance.
Just give them a chance. Let them test the waters.
And what we thought would be an advantage for Northland so far has been an advantage for East, which is winning faceoffs.
Win and Hen facing off.
Another win for Will William.
Northland attackman rides
Nice
hard.
check by Jake Fisher.
Tell you what, if Northland wants to have a chance in this game here, Isaac Hen is going to need to start winning faceoffs. He is easily the best faceoff guy in the state right now, and he is currently 0 for 3 in this game. He's going to have to be an X factor if they want to have a chance here.
As Shawnee Mission East sets up their offense again, attacking from up top with that short stick D mid. So they pull the ball back up top. Hope to get some kind of motion and play going.
And you hear Shawnee Mission East bench just going insane on every dodge. It starts to get in your head a little bit as a player, just hearing it over and over again. Even if you think you're doing something right, they're still cheering.
Absolutely.
Nice pass by Freeze. Good takeaway
handle.
check by Bryce Rigdon. Senior Bryce Rigdon.
Inside roll right here. Shot.
Flag down.
Let's see what the call is here.
So we're going to
Looks
get a
like we have
push here.
different calls. And looks like it's going to be no goal. They're
No
going to
goal.
call a crease. And it's going to be Northland ball.
I know that's a difference between high school and college rules. In college game, you can go through the crease. If you land in the crease, it's okay. But in high school, that's not okay. So did they throw a flag?
They
I think they're
threw
gonna-
a flag, and they think they're going to wave it off.
So it's going to be a push with possession, 30-second technical, but no goal. So big play for Northland.
Okay.
And that's always a difficult call for the high school refs, too. There's such a big gray area when it comes to diving in the crease, and if the defender pushed him in the back and forced his momentum to go in the crease, or if the player willingly did it himself. So Shawnee Mission East sets up their man-up offense. Spreading the ball up top, moving it down.
Here's that movement.
Feet inside, backhand,
Oh,
shot, and a goal!
Abe Laughlin adding a little sauce.
A little
Ricocheting off the goalie and into the back of the net.
Looks like he did the sniper celly with the coaches on the sideline. That's 2 goals early for Abe Laughlin, a senior.
So 6:52 in the first quarter, and Shawnee Mission East up 3-0 on Northland. And we've been dealing with some weather delays here, especially in the first games, with between rain and thunderstorms and lightning. And we're lucky enough to get in the first game, not too far behind schedule. And we just hope that the weather stays pretty nice out for the rest of this game, so we can finish up and have no more delays. As Northland wins their first face-off of the game, as the ball becomes loose and they regain possession, hopefully let's get some offense here going for Northland and see if they can't test the waters with their matchups.
And Jake Fisher is going to press early. He sat out a lot of the year with a back injury, but he is one of the, in my opinion, top 3 attackmen in the league.
And when you look at Shawnee Mission East right now, for their first possession on defense, their defenders are playing pretty far out past the box, which is kind of rare for Kansas lacrosse, especially in the high school level. So they're putting the pressure on Northland right here. Quick restart. Shot in the crease for Northland, and it looks like they're going to call it, and it's going to be Shawnee Mission East's ball.
Yeah, the whole night you will see Shawnee Mission East press out extremely far. That's just what they like to do. Pembroke has one of the best rides in the league, though, and there you see it pay off.
Northland gets the ball back, but immediately stripped by Shawnee Mission East as they look to turn the table and go the other way.
And a flag is down. There's going to be a slashing call on a Northland attackman on that ride. And looks like that man-up's going to start right about now.
Early penalties for Northland are really starting to add up. That's 3 in the first 5 minutes. It's going to be tough to win this game. Thankfully, they're only down by 3. Same thing we talked about.
They got to stay out of the sin bin. So you can see the call here. Looks like it's going to be a 30-second technical.
Fisher looks to be complaining about that player playing with his offhand, wasn't touching his stick.
So East again, man up, moving the ball around up top, and they're looking to make it a 4-0 lead.
There's the same cut across the crease, Abe Laughlin.
They're looking for that inside feed, keeping their head up.
There's Abe again in the middle. Nice pass to Kate Eldred.
Shot saved.
Deflected.
And Northland will get the ball back, and they draw a
another flag. Yeah. They're calling it tight. So here's an opportunity. That was a huge play for Northland. They killed a man up, or a man down, excuse me, and they get to go man up in about 30 seconds. And Shawnee Mission East does something interesting on when they're man down. They'll put in 2 middies as attackmen, and on the clear, they will sub out 2 people to the box, and the 2 middies will run across the field and cross the line, and then their 2 other attackmen will run in and start playing defense.
So Northland will get the ball, and because of their previous penalty, they are currently playing 5-on-5, both having a player in the sin bin. So a lot more space out there now without the extra players on both sides.
And here comes Fisher, and they'll be even.
Only for a few moments, though, so they got to get something going here.
And look, even when they're man down, Shawnee Mission East still pressing out.
So Northland stays with the ball, gets stripped, as both teams are even now, and Shawnee Mission East will end up with the ball, passing the ball up into the player, and they will look to get some kind of push or just settle down and get their offensive middies back on the field.
Looks like Will Moore with the ball up top.
Shawnee Mission East just continuing to control the pace of play and holding the ball.
Yeah, they're not trying to push anything right now. They're going to take their time. They're going to set something up and make sure that goal is sure.
So Ben Hensel with behind the net shot and
Oh.
feed score.
That's Charles
Charles.
Berger with the goal.
Yes.
4 goals early here in this first quarter, and Shawnee Mission East is on fire right now.
6 left in the first quarter. Lancers 4, Northland 0.
It's going to be a timeout, I think, from Northland. And the East boys are hyped up.
Let's take a replay of what happened here.
Zeke Johnson on the initial dodge.
Excellent move.
And look at all the movement on Crease, just finding the holes.
And that's just a heads-up play right there. Dodging with your head up. You know, that's what coaches, and especially if you're looking to play at the next level, that's what college coaches are looking for, is for those players who are dodging to keep that head up. Because it's one thing to take take a shot, dodging upfield, throwing against your body, but it's another thing to be able to keep your eyes on your teammates and find a little gap in the defense just for a quick little layup instead of taking a three-pointer.
Something with East that might be a little surprising to some people is because they have so many people with so many points. You look at Griffin, you look at Cade, you even look at Charles. You'd think they'd be a more selfish offense, focused on one-on-one dodging. And they can do that for sure. But you see this team getting hyped up for every dodge. They're just excited to get the ball around the people. Look, Scott Davis is having a talk with his best player, Jake Fisher. But this East team plays so well together. That's part of the reason they're so good.
And what do you think Coach Davis is telling his team in that huddle right there?
You know, you like to think that he's just saying, stay calm and the ball will come our way at one point or another, but you got to think that it all starts with the face-off X right now, and you got to start getting possessions more and more. So we'll see how this kind of plays out for the rest of the quarter in the first half, but if things are going to change for Northland, they got to start getting more possessions, and it starts with the face-off.
Couldn't agree more.
Face-off won again by Shawnee Mission East, and they will regain possession and flipped it to Cade Eldred, and they will look to get their players back on the field.
Northland playing a lot of defense right now, and what you got to take from that is that as soon as they do get the ball in that offensive end, they have to keep in mind that they have to get a long offensive possession. They can't try and push it too early, take too many risks, because if they miss, then they got to go back on defense, and that's detrimental.
Yeah, they got to get their defenders to get some kind of rest, and that's probably what Coach Scott Davis was trying to do as well, is take a timeout and give his D a little break, get him some water, so that way they're just not constantly playing.
Absolutely.
But Shawnee Mission East is just staying smart with the ball, and it looks like they know what they want, and they're just looking for those matchups with the short sticks, or even with their best players, just like Cade.
Sophomore Zeke Johnson taking another dodge. He already had 1 assist. He's quick.
Shot by number 9,
Wilmore with the shot. Quick lefty dodge.
And it looks like maybe an errant pass by Shawnee Mission East, and the ball will
No
go out
push
of
call.
bounds, and Northland will get the ball. And let's see what they
Need
can
to
do
clear
here on
it
this
here.
clear. So they get it to a short stick,
Jack Van de Ven.
and there are 4 Shawnee Mission East Lancers surrounding him as he holds
Flag
possession
down.
and will get a penalty for getting pushed in the back. And Shawnee Mission East will finally get possession of the ball and kill the play. And Northland will get their first opportunity as some real looks here on offense as they go man up.
30-second push for possession.
Looks like we got a little sound from the sideline.
Yeah.
The call is going to be on Griffin Freeze. I believe that's his 2nd penalty already.
What I've noticed is that Freeze has not had much offensive production so far tonight. They're All-American, which just goes to show that this team up 4-0, just how deep their offense really is. They've got some excellent players, And it shows when you can be up on a team early 4-0 when your All-American has not scored a point yet.
Pass goes off the stick of a Northland player, and ball will cross over the midline. Still on the ground. And Northland will regain possession here. As it appears the penalty has ran out of time, and they are both even. So Northland will get the ball back on offense and hope to get some kind of production here out of their offense.
Looks like Scott Davis is calling yellow, slowing everything down.
Smart play.
Give the defense a little bit of break, and then gives you extra time to figure out who you want to give the ball to, who you want to initiate the offense with, and then go from there.
Yep, they'll probably take another few seconds off the clock and then dodge it around 20 seconds left in the quarter.
It'd be huge to get one here.
Yeah.
Just for your confidence sake. So you can score with them. We can play. Isaac Hand dodging.
Backhanded shot just wide.
Diving shot, and Smees
No backup there. You got to have someone go to X to try and back up that shot.
It was a great effort there on the play, but with 5 seconds left, Shawnee Mission East chucks the ball. Fries tries chucking it, and it's blocked by a Northland defender, and that will be it for the first quarter here at UMKC with the LAKC semifinals between Shawnee Mission East Lancers up 4-0 on Northland. We will be right back. So as we're about to enter here into the second quarter, you got to look at Shawnee Mission East, and you got to think, for at least their first quarter, they executed their game plan just probably the way they wanted to. They're up 4-0. They held the ball a lot, and they controlled the pace of the play. Didn't let in any goals, and they got a lot of good opportunities. They could have even had a couple more goals there too.
Yeah, not a lot of adjustments to make in between the quarters. They're working well on offense. They're working well on defense, as little of it as they are playing. No complaints so far from their game plan, from their coaches, I'm sure.
I think something for Northland that I've just been noticing so far that's been a problem that isn't really fixable is just how much bigger Shawnee Mission East is. Every clear, the midfielders are getting mobbed by Shawnee Mission East players. I think if Northland wants to crawl back into this, we said it before, it's like, but they need to start winning faceoffs. That's the only way.
Yeah.
And Jake Fisher, the Rockhurst commit, one of the best players in our league, has to start dodging. The thing about a Shawnee Mission East team that plays so far out with these tall poles who are quick, but if you play that far out, you're opening yourself up to being beat because that far out, there's no help. So I want to see Jake Fisher start attacking these matchups, getting a step, and then looking for Connor Jones or Parker Jones, the two brothers on attack who can both shoot from outside.
Absolutely. Shawnee Mission East definitely creates or gives themselves a little bit more vulnerability when they do press out on the offensive players. So those offensive players have to then win that one-on-one matchup in order to draw a slide. And the good news for them is that if they beat their one-on-one matchup, that slide that's coming at them is probably going to be a lot longer than what it normally is because they're beating their man around the box line or even farther out.
More time to scan the field. Find the open man.
Look like Isaac went a little early, so it's going to be East ball.
So as they look to get a touch into the box, they get it, and they will move the ball behind X.
And a potential game plan you can use is, although Will Wen, number 33, has been amazing on faceoffs, he's not amazing with the ball all the time. He just doesn't have the stick skills. He's pretty young. And so if you can kind of lock off the adjacent passes, that's an easy turn, or not easy, but that's a turnover you can get almost every possession he wins the faceoff. And here's Griffin Freeze
Cutting
first
through
look
the
at
defense,
Cage.
finishing
Oh,
with the
too
left
easy.
hand.
Left-handed All-American. Incredible finish by Griffin Freeze, just cutting through the defense.
That looked kind of effortless to a certain degree. I
It
mean,
did.
That was a strong dodge over the top, a good sweep, and then found a lane to cut inside and just finish without any kind of slide or hit coming from the Northland defense. So Shawnee Mission East making it 5-0 here against Northland. Face-off turns into a little bit of a scrum, but Shawnee Mission East gets it right off the bat. Ooh, a little bit of dangles there from Griffin Freeze as Shawnee Mission East regains possession on offense.
Here you got to pressure the ball a little bit. And here's number 2, Charles Berger, who's traditionally the third attackman. Oh, wait, here's Cade, backhand. Charles Berger, number 2, who's traditionally the third attackman. He still had 5 goals in the championship win for East last year.
Well, he will definitely play a big part in tonight's game moving forward as well. As a pass by Northland goes over the midline and is intercepted by a Shawnee Mission East DePaul.
I think Tommy Foster, I believe,
Yeah.
number 30.
And they will get the ball right back on offense. Man, if you're Northland, there's 2 areas that you're struggling in right now. It's the clearing game and it's the face-offs. You know, you're not really given a whole lot of opportunities to your offense, even though they have had some chances with a couple man-ups and a couple gimmies that Shawnee Mission East gave them. They got to start really earning some opportunities for their offensive players to put some balls in the back of the net. So Shawnee Mission East gets the ball top shot, bounce shot, just over the cage, and wow, that's a great shot there. Bouncing the ball over the net there by Jack Burkhead.
Shawnee Mission East is utilizing a 10-man ride. That's what's helping them just smother Northland, it seems like.
Feet inside, just off the mark, but picked up by Griffin Freeze.
Moving the ball around, just always getting the right possession.
Kate with the dodge.
Good defense by Bryce Rigdon.
Staying on his hands. And
Flag
that slash
down.
right there is going to draw a penalty. So Shawnee Mission East with the free possession right here. And about to go man up, pending what happens on this play.
As Griffin Freeze free lane in the net. Another goal by Griffin Freeze. It's too easy right there. There's a free lane in the net, no one on him. Now they're going to be manned up.
He was able to get his right shoulder into the defender pretty well, so that way that he couldn't get, the defender couldn't get a stick around him and just put the stick up and finishing it with a little bit of a twister.
1 minute slash on North.
Am I off?
Thank you for the soundbite from the sideline. And looks like Northland's going to be a man down for a minute here.
So the Lancers up 6-0 and man up as Northland looks like they could win a faceoff here. A little bit of confusion there on the man ball, but it's going to stay with Northland. And you got to believe that Shawnee Mission East is going to put some pressure on Northland's offense right here, being a man up.
Northland's going to try and kill this penalty. They're going to get double teamed pretty hard by Shawnee Mission East, an already aggressive team. If they have a man up, they're still going to press even harder.
So just trying to kill out this penalty. and drawing some double teams down in the bottom of the corner. Looks to split the defenders and able to get out of it.
Ethan Hunt moving around, making sure he doesn't lose that ball.
And you got to be smart here with the ball as
Yard sale by Tommy Foster.
and just like that, Shawnee Michigan get the ball back with the hard ride by Northland, but
Timeout, I believe, by East. Good call by Coach William Garrett.
so with 7:56 left in the second quarter, Shawnee Mission East has just dominated the game. That's just plain and simple. They have full possession of of the ball and what they want to do with it, and they're waiting for the right looks. And they got all their star players right now performing on the levels that they need them to be.
I don't know what adjustment Northland can make. I mean, slide earlier, but then you leave shots open. That's the difficulty with playing Shawnee Mission East. Every position group they have is strong. And when they're winning faceoffs and making saves, this is what happens. 6 unanswered goals for the Lancers to start off the game. I believe something you can be looking forward to is at halftime, I think we're going to have some interviews on the sideline.
Yes, from Pat McCarthy. He'll be interviewing, I believe, some of the coaches, or one of the coaches on both teams, to bring us some in-game commentary about what's going on and give us some perspective on what the coaches are thinking about how the game's going.
I think it might be a little different opinion between the two coaches about how the game's going, huh?
I'd like to believe so, too.
Oh, gosh. Northland's in a tough spot here. If you're thinking Northland's similar to what we talked about last game, just get that one goal. That one goal become two. Just kind of try everything you can to claw your way back in the game, but they're going to start a man down.
Yeah, if you're Scott Davis right there talking to your team, you're looking at the scoreboard and you're going, wow, we're down 6-0, but that's not the way you have to look at it if you're a player. You got to look at it as one goal. You know, the goal for Northland right now should be get a defensive stop right here and make the game 6-1. And then your goal after that should be make the game 6-2. And just take it one goal at a time.
Look at all the movement.
Oh, picked off by a Northland defender. They'll give the ball back to the goalkeeper. As he throws to the middle of the field, and
It's going to be goalie interference.
and
That's
it
a
looks like
flag. You can't shoot it after the whistle. Which there should be no argument. That's a clear penalty.
yeah. So Griffin Freeze is going to go back into the box. What is that? It's, at least
Is that his third penalty?
Second or third. So legal procedure by Freeze shooting the ball after the whistle was blown.
So what I'm looking for right now is there, maybe we can get a little fact check on this at halftime, but there may be a penalty minute limit.
You're right. I believe, I might be wrong here, but I believe a player is allowed to have up to 5 penalty minutes into a game. And then once they exceed 5 penalty minutes, they are ejected, but I could be wrong on that.
I just know 3 penalties in the first half is just usually pretty above average for sure.
Absolutely.
Good takeaway check. You got to get that ball up, though.
So Northland gets the ball back as Shawnee Mission East is swarming to the ball. They look to get the ball to the short stick, and he looks to carry over the midfield. Getting righted, stops short, looking to pass the ball to an attackman as he catches it, and they got to look to get the ball in the box here in the next few seconds, as they do. And
You got to press right here if you're Jake Fisher.
Feeds the ball up top.
Drop pass by Connor Jones. That was a time and room opportunity. Good dodge by Jake Fisher.
Yeah, that's a great look by Fisher. Keeping his head up, drawing a slide there, moving. And Freeze wide open on the crease.
Oh.
Fake, 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 shot, score.
Griffin Freeze says 3 in a row. And that's 7-0 for Shawnee Mission East. And they're excited on the sideline.
They are certainly pumped. They know what they're doing is
See how many fakes we got here. Someone just let Griffin get away, which is hard to do.
So that's a great feed right there.
1, 2, 3, 4. Almost too fast to count, even with the slow-mo.
And if you're a goalie right there, what do you you're thinking, you know, there's not much you can do when you're getting, and he has enough time to fake 4 different times.
And here's a freshman, Cole Bellotta, taking a face-off for Northland.
Getting the strip, and he gets the ball back. Because Northland looks to put the ball behind X and sub some of their offensive guys on.
I believe Jake Fisher pressing again.
Shot. Couldn't hit the cage, and it looks like the ball's might trickle out. And it's going to be the goalie ball awarded to Shawnee Mission East.
And Scott Davis is not going to be happy with that one.
So the goalie
Look at Philip Clemente running out.
Leaving that net open, but no worries for Shawnee Mission East clearing that ball. As they touch the ball in the box.
Jack Burkhead running it all the way in.
He gets underneath the defender. Trail check. Couldn't quite get the ground ball as Freeze comes in and scoops it right up.
Nice spin move by James Stowers.
Still in attack mode. A wide open shot right here. Shot off the pipe.
Look at always head up. That's what's so impressive about Shawnee Mission East. Something uncharacteristic too, which is a little unfortunate, but they always have their passes directly on stick. It's something that's kind of goes unnoticed when it's happening. But last game, how many drop passes do we see on both sides of the ball?
A decent
Shawnee
amount.
Mission East,
Yeah.
20 yards apart. They're still making perfect passes. They're really calling this game tight, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Just playing a little physical, but I guess you can call that if you want. I wouldn't have called it.
Might have been a little bit high, but the refs put the laundry on the ground, and play will drop dead. And
there's like another one for Griffin.
A dead ball foul. And geez, if you're, you know, I'm curious to see what the rules are. I don't know if there is a penalty limit for players, but he's certainly been in the penalty box for a whole lot this first half.
That's 4 penalties in the first half.
That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that's, as a man who has gotten a lot of penalties in his career, that is a lot of penalties in one half.
Yeah, so heel turn, so get the white hat.
Okay, so let's see what we got for the call here.
We're going to get Chris Harris with the call. Veteran ref.
Great, 10. Clear! It's a free clear! Foul. White 3. 30-second countdown. No, it's a free clear! Hunter!
So as Coach Davis arguing that it should be a free clear, I don't think the refs will agree with him, but there will be a 1-minute slash, and then there will be a 30-second conduct penalty on Shawnee Mission East as Northland can't clear the ball. Shawnee Mission East picks it up, shot, and save
by
and another penalty.
Oh, my God. Around these parts, that ref is known as Fez. That's his nickname. He called himself that, so it's not bad.
I didn't see any flag! Not you! Them! Personal foul, Green. 18. Slash. 1 minute, 4:22 on the clock.
So it's going to be 5-on-4 for Shawnee Mission East. Is going to be man up, and then I believe they'll go 2-man up in a little bit. So we'll see if Shawnee Mission East just presses right away on the 1-man advantage or holds it a little bit to get that 2-man advantage.
Well, the refs are certainly not hesitant to throw any of the flags out here. They are calling it tight. The skip pass, and it's just a little bit low, unable to handle it for Johnson. As Northland Northland will have the ball and try to clear it once again. Well, being down 2 men, this is not an easy task. But it looks like they have a lane. Smith being able to carry the ball down and get it to X.
Get that touch.
Oh, and just a little bit of a high pass they couldn't handle. The ball will just go right back to Shawnee Mission East. So as Shawnee Mission East carries the ball back down.
Here's Charles Berger slowing everything back down.
And they are still man down. As the next.
And here we go. Now they're finally even.
Now they're finally even as the
short stick on
final
Griffin
player
Freeze.
runs on.
Bold move.
Trail check failed as a shot underhand gets blocked in the way. Shawnee Mission East will rush to the ball and get the get it right back off the shot.
Short stick D midi on Griffin Freeze, taking him to X.
You know he wants his matchup. Splits left to right. Little pump fake shot underhand, blocked again.
Northland's great again. Their bodies in front of shots, huh? The best way to beat this Shawnee Mission East clear is just to have one of your poles running up the field.
Ooh, a ball comes in the front. Northland tries to get it. Backhand off the
Off
crossbar. On the doorstep, couldn't convert. A little bit of a flashy play right there, just trying to get one goal on the
Connor
board. They couldn't
Jones.
get it. And what an outlet pass.
Clemente.
That's about a 40-yard pass on
a
the dime
rope.
on a rope. I think Mahomes would be proud of that one.
I think he would be.
Shawnee Mission East gets their personnel on the field for offense.
2 minutes left in the half.
And 2 minutes left in the first half of the game here. Shawnee Mission East up 7-0 on
SD.
Northland.
Better quarter for Northland, honestly. I mean, was it 6-0 after the first quarter?
I believe so. The scoreboard doesn't show that they've been playing better, but they've been holding them to a lot less stops, or a lot more stops. Unfortunately, just haven't gotten any offensive opportunities,
flag.
really. As another flag happens, and just like that, Northland goes back on the man-down unit.
A lot of man down for Northland. So far, it hasn't. I mean, it has killed them, but.
3-6. 3-0 /1. Time on the clock, 1:31.
So a slash on Northland is going to put Shawnee Mission East up once again on the man-up unit. As they just rotate the ball around the perimeter. At some point or another, here we go. Here's the initiation right here. 2 cutters down to go to the crease. Skip pass across the crease and
a huge save by Charlie Duffy.
And a flag.
Another delay of game. You can't shoot after the whistle.
So to explain that, the goalie had clamped on the ball and had possession at that point. The player could not go under there and get the ball. There was a shot off the corner.
Are you still? Technical foul, white, number 4. Legal procedure, delay of game. 30 seconds, technical foul. 57 seconds on the clock.
How long are we 5-on-5?
You know, I don't know if these players for Shawnee Mission East play a lot of the video game, the NHL, but you know when you shoot the puck after you get an offsides and it starts a fight in the game, or you can start a fight. I don't know if they've been playing too much video games or what, but they have. That's 2 times in a row right now that they've shot the ball after the whistle's been blown dead. If that was hockey, there'd be some brawls going on.
Ethan Hunt with a good shot there. They're playing 5-on-5 now, but look at how far East is pressed out. They're so confident in their one-on-one matchups.
Then they're filling all that extra space up without the extra players or the extra player for offensive defense. So they finally get their now it's even. So they push the net. Shot. Score!
Connor Jones with the rip. That's a good thing to go in with 20 seconds left at halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. As he stares down the defender, as he shoots low to high and stings it.
Don't know if you can stare down the defender, down 6,
Nothing
but
wrong with that.
absolute crank by Connor Jones. And again, maybe that can be the start of something, especially if you're Cole Bellotta here as a freshman. And he won the last face-off, so he can get another face-off win. That's could be a good start, bring it within 5 for Northland.
And as we come closer to the halftime, we will be having interviews with our Pat McCarthy, with some of the both teams' coaches, and getting a vibe of how their players are feeling and and what they need to do in the second half. With 20 seconds left, it's going to be a violation on Northland, and East will get the ball, and they will look to push it here as we get a whistle, and they will call timeout to drop one final play to put in one more before the halftime.
So 14 seconds left on the clock. East are on one more play, trying to put one more in. Kind of get a little bit of the momentum back on their side, although they're up by a lot. Northland did score right before this, so maybe they want to get a little momentum back before the next half starts, or this half ends, I should say.
Well, 6-goal lead is definitely solid momentum to head into the halftime with. But if you're Northland, at least you got to be at least content with just getting one on the board there with how the first half's gone, and just not getting a whole lot of looks out of your offense, and having some difficulties clearing the ball and winning the faceoffs. So at least that's one positive thing Scott Davis can build on going into halftime and talking to his players about. But moving forward, they really got to start winning more faceoffs, and they got to find a way to clear the ball more efficiently, unless Shawnee Mission East is going to continue to possess them with the ball.
So where's the ball going to start? Going to start with number 2, Charles Berger in the top right.
And he is guarded by a short stick D midi. And if I was Northland, I would try and put a pole on the ball that starts on. But nope, they're going to put the pole on Freeze.
Pick play
Good
up
idea
top.
anyways. Freeze gets with the left hand, goes inside, dumps it, and just off the stick.
Going to be a pass.
Just off the stick of Abe
Wow.
Laughlin. And
That's going to be halftime. Shawnee Mission East with a dominant first half. And we're going to try and get some interviews real quick. Pat McCarthy down there trying to get his first interview.
I believe he'll be interviewing the Shawnee Mission East coach first, getting into what they can build on in the second half and make sure that Northland has no possibility of coming back. And then after that, shortly he should be interviewing the coach of Northland, Scott Davis, I believe. And let's bring
Pat
it to
McCarthy
Pat.
down here on the field with Coach Will Garrett. Coach Garrett, you got a big lead at halftime with 6 points. What do you most attribute your team's success to early on?
We were really worried about the face-offs coming into this game, and Will Wynn's just come up huge. He's given us all the possessions we need. We've been riding hard, making it hard for them to clear, and that's just giving our offense extra opportunities, and I think that's the difference right now.
All right, and what do you think the bench energy on your team is doing for the guys on the field right now?
It's just to keep them going. I mean, even when it's a lead like this, I've seen leads slip away, and every player on our team has a job, and guys on the bench is to keep everyone on the field excited, and they're doing a good job of it.
Staying hype.
Staying hype.
And any halftime adjustments we might see?
Possibly. Right now, though, everything's going pretty good, so we'll wait for them to come, and then we'll make them.
Certainly seems like it. All right, thank you very much, Coach.
Hey, thanks a lot.
All good?
Awesome.
How'd it go?
Thank you, Pat, for that
Pretty well, and shook a little bit.
great interview with Coach.
I got theater experience. I'm golden.
And it looks like we will be getting another interview potentially with the Northland coach, Scott Davis,
Struggling too much without me, but
just momentarily.
yeah.
Actually, I think that interview is going to come closer to the start of the first half, or the start of the second half, I believe.
Yes.
Northland all went to the locker room, and so we'll cut down the path at the end of halftime. And so right now we'll take a quick little break and come back with Pat.
And welcome back to the second half of this LAKC semifinals game between Shawnee Mission East Lancers and the Northland Spartans. Shawnee Mission East up 7-1 going into the second half, and we, Jack, it's just been all dominance by Shawnee Mission East. So we're unsure if we're going to get a quick interview by our Pat McCarthy here. With the Northland coach, Scott Davis. So we are just waiting word on that. But it has just been an all-out dominant performance in that first half by Shawnee Mission East, and Northland is going to need to get it. So we're going to go straight down to Patrick right now with Scott Davis.
Hey, Pat McCarthy down here on the sideline with Coach Scott Davis from Northland. Coach Davis, despite the early deficit, what do you say to your players in that halftime huddle in the locker room?
We just got to show up. The reality is that it's 2-0 right now. We have let up 5 man-down goals. Okay, we have to continue to play full strength, and I think we've got it. We have great matchups behind the cage, and we just got to pass and catch. We got inside of our own heads. Some of these all these kids, it's their first time here. Okay, so we just need to play smarter. We need to play harder. We need to play together as a family, and that's what I told my guys. And I think we're going to come out here and see a different half.
All right, well, good luck to you in the second half, Coach.
Right, thank you.
Face-off win for Northland, which is huge.
Pat McCarthy.
Pat McCarthy.
Thank you, Pat. Appreciate it. And as Northland gets the ball back.
That's exactly what the start they need.
Yep, and a cross feed. Oh, and they catch the ball. The net is open, and then they pass it up top and a little bit too high, and it looks like it's going to go over the midline. That's going to be an over and back call. Shawnee Mission East will look to get the quick restart, but Freeze runs a little bit too far out of the zone.
It really should not have been a whistle just because it's a play on traditionally.
Yeah.
So he's right to be a little amped up about that one.
Yeah.
But
Usually
good start for Northland.
Yeah. Usually the refs want to give the players a few seconds to see if the team, the offensive side, can get the ball back before they call it with the play on. But anyway, Shawnee Mission East with the ball on offense again. As Cade buries his shoulder in. Shot going backwards, a little bit wide.
Nice job by Charlie Duffy scooping that ball up.
That was an interesting point of the interview that Pat got too, is that Coach Davis said, it's really 2-0. And I was confused when he said it, but they have had 5 man-down goals as we have a player down right now for Northland. As he abruptly gets up, and looks like there could be some chatter on the sidelines.
I didn't quite see what was going on there.
Now, by rule,
he has to sub off Ethan Hunt, I believe. It's number 18.
Yes. By rule, if a whistle's blown because a player is down, that player has to leave the field, but can come back on whenever he's ready to go. So Northland with the opportunity here with offense and hoping to make it a 7-2 game.
This is a good matchup for Northland. Isaac Hen.
A little bit of an errant pass and lucky bounce for Shawnee Mission East getting the ball back to the keeper. They look to clear it up the middle of the field. Ball is down. No one's picked it up yet, and it's a little bit of a scrum. Ball's up in the air now. Shawnee Mission East gets the ball, and
doesn't matter. Would have been a push, but Shawnee Mission East picks up the ball, so it'll be a play on, and Shawnee Mission East will set up their offense again. Second time this half. Wilmore with a dodge. Nice pass. Ooh. A little underhand shot by Griffin Freeze.
A little bit of a flare there. Now, Griffin had, I believe it was 4 goals in the first half, but also 4 penalties. So it's one of those things.
He's just filling up the stat sheet.
Yeah. His presence will certainly be known there as another flag will come into play, and it will be on Shawnee Mission East, so Northland will get the opportunity to get the ball on offense as they clear it up the field.
Free possession right here. Mahaffey chasing.
As they regain possession of the ball, and there's still no whistle, and depending on what the penalty is, they could have opportunity to get a free play and another goal. Oh!
Another 2 flags.
As tensions are flaring.
I think Shawnee Mission East is pretty upset. They've already had 2 penalties called against them for shooting after the whistle. And Connor Jones of Northland just did the exact same thing. But Shawnee Mission East is going to be 2 men down here. And we welcome Pat back up here. Wonderful interviews by Pat.
We will get him a mic.
He's getting the microphone right now. So this half has been, so far, knock on wood, a little bit more even, I would say. Northland seems to be, if they can just get their passes on target, I think they could easily, maybe not climb back into this game, but start to make it a little bit more of a fight.
If you're a fan for Northland, you definitely have your eyes a little bit more wide right now, and you have a little bit of a bigger glimpse of hope for at least start to get something going here on offense, and this is going to be a prime opportunity to at least get some kind of run going. And they you know, only 3 minutes into the half, they got plenty of time to come back, but you know they got to inch back goal by goal. So as they start their man up right here, they're going to have to look to get some skip lanes open and finding some backdoor looks. As we get a shot,
Connor
ooh,
Jones.
He might have pulled out the 8-iron there. That one was a little bit too high.
Look for Connor Jones, 25 and 26, to be the one shooting on this man-up possession. They're both lethal from outside.
Now, if you're Northland too, you gotta get Fisher and Jones involved in this. You gotta get them involved as Jones is up top in that top point. And looks they run the same play. The shot and just wide again. Shot
Jake
by
Fisher.
Fisher.
Shot by Jake Fisher.
Tell you
Ethan
what,
Hunt.
Northland is not wasting any opportunities here on offense. They're taking the shots they are given.
As the shot kind of hits off the
Goalie
net.
out of the net.
Unfortunate turnover.
The goalie
Threw it out of bounds.
kind of just chucked it, and Northland's going to push pretty fast here. Wormburner shot on the ground. It's going to be close, but it's going to stay Northland ball.
Oh, Clemente's amped up about that one. He ran pretty hard for that one. He won that possession back to the Shawnee Mission East.
Ooh, mishandle on the pass there.
Oh, great
but
play by
saved.
the defender. But they're going to call over and back.
Over and back. Okay.
Interesting.
With the whistle here, and looks like Shawnee Mission East is subbing all their guys off and then back on for the offensive midfielders. As Will Moore carries the ball behind X and looks to get it to one of his midfielders. Or no, here comes Cade Eldred.
With the shorty.
Short stick matchup right here. You'd like to think that he tested, but no, he passes it off, and they're going to give it right back to him.
I'm sure he'll test it.
Yeah, he's not going to waste an opportunity like that.
He's getting some clear throughs here. Looks for a fake flip.
Gets the switch. Now he's got a pole. Another shorty matchup around the
Charles
crease.
Berger
Man
makes the defender
slips.
fall.
Oh,
he's in the
diving
crease.
goal
He's in
off
the crease.
pipe. Shot, I should say.
And they're going to call him in the crease. It'll be Northland ball.
That's a great eye by the officials catching that crease violation.
That would have been.
Ooh, pass a little bit too
God.
high.
Ball still loose. Northland
Ball
picks it up.
rolling. Look top left open. Yep.
Oh.
Yard sale.
Hammer of a
Gonna be
check.
holding.
East ball.
So Shawnee Mission East continues to dominate the possession time of this game and just wearing out this Northland defense. As it looked, they could be getting a little frustrated with not getting as many offensive opportunities. Dodge from X, a little shimmy there. Backhanded shot, not enough angle.
Wraparound shot.
And an easy save.
Charles Duffy with a good save. This is Jack Vandeven, who has wheels. He can absolutely fly.
He certainly is flying down the field, keeping his head
Oh,
down. Oh, he breaks some, almost said broke some tackles, but we'd be calling the wrong sport. The ball is still loose on the Northland side of the field as Shawnee Mission East picks it up.
Looks like a player's lost his butt end, number 24 for Northland. He was kind of looking at it funny.
That was a great eye.
Thank you.
That may be Pat.
You guys are so nice.
Oh, that's why you brought the binoculars.
Yeah. No. I forgot the telescope in the car.
Ward. And they're going to call Ward here, and it's going to be Northland ball.
See if they can clear it. Oh, he's going to get mobbed.
Officials playing a big part in tonight's game.
They are certainly calling it tight as a great
pass
there.
to Jake Fisher.
Shot.
Oh!
The goalie was momentarily out of the cage, and he just could not convert with the ball.
That's what happens when you do an 11 or 10-man ride. Excuse me.
We just got some binoculars sent up to the room, so we have a great view now.
The game has never looked better, folks.
Northland opportunity. Oh, shot. Just not enough. Not pull it enough to get it on cage. And
the shot missed, but it looked great through binoculars, I got to say.
It's
All right, that's giving me a headache.
It's gonna stay Northland ball.
Oh, we've got a flag.
There's gonna be a dead ball foul here, or a flag, and it looks it's gonna be on the bench of Shawnee Mission East. Let's see if we get a call.
I think it may even be the group of fans behind the bench. They were being pretty vocally active when I was over there.
Vocally active.
Let me tell you something about playing at Shawnee Mission East. You just have to be ready to get ridiculed.
Yeah, 100%.
Bench penalty, 30-second contact.
Oh, I didn't do the refs yet. Okay, cool. So
I'm not sure who the penalty was on.
Penalty on Shawnee Mission East. Unclear if it was the fans or if it was the bench itself.
Something about the mob over there. There's got a bunch of boys cheering on their friends.
A lot of voices coming from that end of that side of the half line.
If you're Shawnee Mission East and you're those players out there, you know, what's more fun than being cheered on by some of your fellow classmates, playing the game that you love, and having the opportunity to go play in the finals on this Friday night. Northland moving the ball fantastically. And just could not handle the pass. And for that short moment, that was the best of Northland's moved the ball all night. They were moving the ball around the perimeter fantastically.
Certainly an unfortunate error for Northland's offense.
As the Lancers look to clear the ball and get it to their pole.
Henry Mahaffey.
A little bit of a slip, but regains control of his feet. And Northland might be playing a little bit more aggressively than we've seen him before, pressuring out more. And as he goes over the head with the check and draws a flag,
and
the ball is in the net.
And the goal. And one for Will Moore. What a dodge. And they're man down.
Tell you what, Northland went that first 8 minutes without allowing a goal. And I got to say, it's got to hurt to be on the Northland team after that goal right there, after having such a good stand.
You know, we talked to Scott Davis last night, coach of Northland, the Spartans, and the two things that he mentioned as we look at this replay here by Moore, going past three guys, falling down, putting the ball in the back of the net, and one. There with our instant replay. But Coach Davis mentioned the two big factors that he had were it starts with the first face-off and winning those face-offs, and it started with having a big first quarter, not allowing Shawnee Mission East to get up on top. And unfortunately, that's just kind of what happened for the Spartans, is they just kind of let them get a really big lead early on in the game, and they've kind of held their weight since then.
Yeah. Shawnee Mission East wins the face-off draw, but a poor flip, but it is regained. And a crease feed. That's going in.
Will win with the goal. Always heads up. I don't know how you stop it. Coach Garrett, stone face on the sideline. Doesn't matter what the score is. He's locked in.
One of the things he mentioned during his halftime interview was, you know, he said, you know, leads can slip away, and he's seen it before, but up 9-1, 3:42 left in the third quarter. I'm not sure if we're going to see this lead slip away.
You got to be feeling pretty good if you're on Shawnee Mission East side.
If you're not feeling good and you're on that side, you know, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
This is
certainly.
But they know, I mean, this is not it. They know that if they end up winning this game, they will be facing a good opponent in Rockhurst on Friday night, as we will have a live stream for that game as well.
Nice ground ball by Henry Mahaffey. Oh, he's going to want to shoot it.
We're going to see a shot.
Oh, good save by Duffy.
Oh! Again, as a defenseman, you hate to see a pole miss their opportunity.
You are really rooting for a pole to score tonight, aren't you?
Yes.
I am too.
I would love to see it.
I need a pole goal. By the end of the night, I need a pole goal.
I am the only offensive player here in this booth, and yeah, I'm clearly outnumbered.
If we get a pole goal, me and Jack are losing it up here. I'll tell you that
Shot
right
and
now.
score,
Another goal.
picked up by
Griffin
Freeze.
Freeze.
Simple scoop to shot. Buries it low and away. And they make that lead go to 9 as the Lancers are up 10-1 on the Spartans. And you got to think Coach Davis is a little frustrated right now with the team.
Yeah, I would say so. But also, I mean, how much you can do? You're sliding well. You've had opportunities. A lot of it's missed patches and catches. And a lot of it is just how strong this Shawnee Mission East team is.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to talk historically about how this team matches up to some of the LAKC teams of old or some of the teams you've seen, do you think this is a historically great team?
Well, I got to say that 2015 LAKC team is pretty good, you know. No, but I mean, this is certainly one of the historically better LAKC teams that we've seen. Absolutely excellent offensive play. Very good on the defensive side as well. Great goalie play. I don't know. What do you think, Rob?
No, I totally agree with you. And but let's not make anything too final because we still got another game to play left. And
that is
Shawnee
true.
Mission East
Yes, sir.
If they're planning on winning this game, they're going to be playing Rockhurst, and that's going to be very interesting game, interesting storylines. And Shawnee Mission East keeps the ball on offense, but yeah, I think that this is one of the better teams to come out of the LAKC, and they've definitely shown a good display of heart and I would say high lacrosse IQ because they are very smart with the ball and they know when and when not to push.
Northland picks up another penalty.
I think this team is represented well nationally as well. They played the Hill Academy this year, played them tight, 10-8. They lost to the varsity Hill Academy team, which is just showing that the LAKC can start to compete on a national level. Maybe not all the teams, but that level of competition and level of just team athleticism and all is ready to kind of compete a little bit more nationally, especially against St. Louis. Both Rockhurst and Shawnee Mission East had big wins against traditional DeSmet and SLU powerhouse teams. 2-minute non-releasable. I think he got a little angry and took a little frustration out on one of the Shawnee Mission East players.
Suppose now's as good a time as any to thank our officials for the game: Scott Patterson, William Valdivia, Michael Walker, and Chris Harris.
But to go back to what you're saying about that 2015 Olathe team.
2015 LAKC team, that's hard to compete with, I got to say.
Great group of
guys. As a completely unbiased third party.
Yes, no relation to the team whatsoever.
No. I don't even think I know anybody that was on that team.
Not one soul.
Certainly not every one of them.
Pass picked off as he bounce passes.
I like it. A little soft.
Bounce past the goalie. That's a little risky.
Little bounce pass to a goalie. I'm not sure if I've seen that.
It's bold for sure.
It's bold if it works.
Yes.
It's not smart if it doesn't.
No. It is the opposite of smart.
Shawnee East settling down.
So still man up. I believe they still have the 2-minute penalty on Northland.
They do.
And it looks like they're shot just wide, and that penalty for Northland is a 2-minute non-releasable, meaning that if the Lancers score with the penalty still in there, the player that got the penalty will still remain in the box and serve the full 2 minutes, regardless of how many goals are scored. As we are running down to the last few seconds of the third quarter here, and Shawnee Mission East is passing the ball around, and errant pass goes.
I think it was tipped by a Northland defenseman.
The refs are gonna
call over and back.
The refs are going to call him back to the midline, give the ball to Northland, and there will be 2 seconds for them to try and make something out of it and put some kind of shot on cage.
If they're still man down and have possession, does that carry over?
No, there will be no face-off in the fourth quarter, so Northland will start with the ball. Kind of a heads-up play by Northland, but not a smart decision there by Shawnee Mission East. So Shawnee Mission East up 10-1 on Northland. Going in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back. This presentation of the Lacrosse Association of Kansas City is brought to you by Top Gun Midwest, Fountain City Lacrosse, Blue Lions Lacrosse Kansas City, Kansas City's original homegrown lacrosse program, best area high school coaches for boys and girls, Casey Heartland Lacrosse Club, True Lacrosse, your year-round provider for boys and girls travel teams, camps, clinics, leagues, and private sessions. The experience the true difference. This webcast is copyrighted by the Lacrosse Association of Kansas City and may not be retransmitted in any form without written consent. Rob McCarthy, Pat McCarthy, and Jack Mahoney with you, alongside executive producer Kevin Schulmeister, technical director Jack Gavin, graphics producer Brianna Bauer, and videographers Natalia Ahrens, Roscoe Flint, and Carson Ebert. As we come back to the fourth quarter, Lancers up 9. And Northland's going to start with the ball being man down.
12 minutes left to play in this fourth quarter.
Tough spot to be. If I'm not sure, I think it's probably number 1, Jack Van de Ven with the ball.
Yeah, a little bit of lightning there in the background.
Hopefully, I think it's far away.
Yeah.
Well, we want these boys to be safe.
Let's hope
they're
so.
holding metal rods out there. We don't want them in any danger. But
Yeah.
Nice check by Joseph Moore.
Probably the worst thing to hold during a.
and a yard sale by Northland.
Yard
Getting the
sale.
ball back.
Jack Van de Ven.
I think the last thing we want right now is a weather delay, just because I can't take being a meteorologist anymore.
And a
It's not my
penalty.
profession.
Penalty flag is thrown on Shawnee Mission East,
And
and a
shot
goal.
score! Northland gets the goal.
Takes advantage of the free possession. And that flag will likely be waved off.
Nice shot by Jack Van de Ven, who, kind of like William Mielbach last game, he's not going to score a lot. He's just going to be vacuuming up ground balls. He's going to be getting assists. He's going to be playing defense. Just all around really stud for Northland, who's going to be here for the next couple of years, I believe. I think he's a junior. Oh, got him tripping and stumbling over there.
So as he brings the ball down, little rollback. And
Nice lefty shot.
Yeah, getting the ball out of his right hand and going to the left.
I'll tell you what, when you're down 9 goals in the fourth quarter, that's as good a time as any to score a goal. You want to do it early, and you want to get as many as you can before this game is over.
Also shows some heart too out of Northland.
Oh,
as well.
absolutely.
You don't want to see them give up. You know, they've played all year. They fought since February, played together as a team, and the last thing you want to see them do is not collapse, but just not give it their all in the last game that they're playing on.
Speaking of Coach Davis from Northland at halftime, I got the feeling, and he said it, that they're not going to give up. They're going to keep fighting, and they're going to fight as a family, and that's exactly what you want to hear out of a head coach, and we're seeing it here on the field right now. Looks like it's going to be Northland's ball.
As they will make sure that a short stick will get the ball first, so that way it is. Oh, nope, they're going to give him a free clear.
Free clear at the half.
Here's Ethan Hunt.
Is he rocking a true lacrosse helmet?
I think he is rocking a true lacrosse helmet, yeah.
A lot of true lacrosse players on that Northland lacrosse team.
Scott Davis has been a true lacrosse coach for many years. So, yeah, they have a lot of true players who kind of want to play with their summer coach and their fall coach on the same team.
But there are a lot of good club teams out here for
sure.
the Kansas
Especially
City area. Ooh, and a behind-the-back pass to save the ball going out of bounds.
And a flag thrown.
Drawing the flag, but wow, what an effort there.
What do you think the growth of club teams around here has been since both of you started playing?
Since we've started playing, it's been absolutely extraordinary to watch the growth of the sport in Kansas City. Just over the course of the last 10 years, it's grown exponentially. It feels like each year there's a new club team or there's a new whole group of players that are joining the sport, and it's been awesome to watch.
Yeah, and I began playing club in about 2010, 2011, and I was a part of a lot of different club teams, from True to Blue Lions, all the way out to the St. Louis travel team and club, Mo 22. And but you know what? There's the game has grown exponentially since we began playing at Northland. Gets opportunity and
what a save by Clemente!
And Northland gets trying to shoot again.
And another save up
Popcorn.
high. Let's see who gets this ground ball in the middle.
The refs have a play on. It looks like they're going to be in the crease or a push. They're going to discuss here, and they're going to call it a push, and it's going to stay Northland ball. But wow, what are two big saves?
Mm-hmm.
Clemente standing on his head.
And going off what you were saying earlier, Robbie, about going out to St. Louis to play, that's the other thing, is it's not just about the growth of the sport here in Kansas City, but the growth of the individual players being able to go out and play for those elite club teams like Mo 22, True National, and Titanium Elite. A lot of Kansas City guys really branching out across the country.
Shot here just wide.
Well, another flag.
But
it's laundry day out here for these referees.
Yeah, laundry day. They need to get some of that laundry done before Friday comes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But you're right, and you know what? You're seeing a lot of growth for the game right now, and you're looking at it on an individual level. You know, there are a ton of commits coming out of this class of players who are seniors in LAKC this year, going Division I, Division II. For Northland, you got Connor Jones and Jake Fisher both going to Rockhurst University next year, where you know I will also be fortunate enough to coach alongside Coach Kevin Kelly there at Rockhurst and be a part of that program. But they've Coach Kelly with the Rockhurst program has done a phenomenal job of coaching and recruiting kids around the area. And not just
another save.
Another great save. But yeah, going off what you're saying about the commits in the area, I mean, it feels like just a few years ago there'd be about 3-4 kids in the city tops going NCAA at all, and now we're seeing multiple D1 commits every year. It really shows how much the game has grown in the area. Here we have
good check.
A check for Northland.
So they look
have
to
an
clear the
opportunity
ball,
to
but
clear
they
it.
have numbers coming in.
Pole goal?
No, they set up the fast break, tick,
Doesn't.
tack, shot,
Toe.
and toe.
Oh.
And that's how you execute a fast break.
Not giving up in this fourth quarter is Northland. They're going to keep firing. They're going to keep trying to win this game, and they're going to give themselves a chance.
As you can see on the right side of your screen, Coach Davis talking to his attackman and always coaching him and trying to get the best out of him, out of his players for what might seem to be the last quarter of that he'll be coaching his seniors.
And you see, honestly, after the first quarter, where East had 6 goals, 4 goals in the last 3 quarters about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So credit to Northland for kind of holding them. I think, again, East is another streaky team like Pembroke. It seems like at any time they could rattle away 5 in a row.
Yeah.
But credit to Northland for being able to hold them kind of in the second half and the end of the first half as well.
Yeah, and that's something Coach Davis mentioned as well too, is that they have a lot of those kids playing for Northland. This is their first time playing on this kind of stage for lacrosse, especially at the high school level. So you had to imagine a lot of those jitters are kind of were kind of out there, and they were pretty nervous heading into that first quarter in the opening face-off. But once they calmed down and realized, hey, you know what, they're the same age as us. They're just playing like us. They're, it doesn't really matter, and they've held their ground, for the most part. And if you were to cut out the first quarter of this game, it would be a 4-3 game, I'm pretty sure. And a shot and a goal.
Near side, barely slipped in.
Zeke Johnson with the near side goal coming up from X, shooting uphill. Wow, what a tremendous shot right there.
That's an excellent shot.
If you're the goaltender right here, and we'll get a replay, that goaltender really needs to hug his pipe, because I want to believe the ball went near side on him. Stop and go.
I think it did. Yeah.
Yep. And the ball just trickles in on that near side. So these goaltenders, you got to make sure that you're hugging that pipe and not allowing anything near side to get in.
That's unfortunate, because if the goalie holds his stick just an inch or two more so to his right, then that's a save right there.
Or even if he's getting his body against that pipe.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be no room for any ball to get in there.
Absolutely.
Unless it's at his feet. Still a tremendous shot, though, by Zeke Johnson.
Absolutely.
So Shawnee Mission East gets the ball back, and
they're going to take their time.
They will take their time and set up their offense, get the guys out. As Cade Eldred gets the ball, looks to push underneath, decides to pull it out. Oh, a cut from X, found by up top. Shot and a save!
What a doorstep save, as the goalie is nearly out of the crease for that one.
He got stuffed. What a tremendous play, as Northland still with the ball, and there's going to be a flag there. And the play is still live, but it seems like everyone kind of stopped, and there it goes. He still had the ball, and there was no whistle, but he kind of hesitated there for a second, acting like the play was dead.
A little moment of confusion, possibly.
But
perhaps a tactic.
Perhaps a tactic. Did not work out, unfortunately.
No, it did not. But Northland is going to get the ball and man up here and have a chance to cut East's lead to 6 or 7. My apologies.
It's one thing that doesn't run in our family genes is math.
Yeah, math is not our strong suit.
Not at all.
As McCarthy's.
It's getting a little late out here, boys, huh?
It is.
Yeah, with all the weather delays, games got pushed back, but we're still happy to be out here. Still happy to be a part of this LAKC semifinals, and we'll be back with you Friday as well.
Hopefully better weather Friday.
Yes.
It's going to be a fun one for sure.
Mm-hmm. A long outlet pass goes right past the Northland net.
Ball's going to go back to North.
Land.
So checking my trusty weather app on my phone, it looks like Friday's weather will be a high of 79 and thunderstorms.
Uh-oh.
So it looks like we'll have similar conditions to what the players experienced here today. And, if I'm a coach and you're playing outside, you're playing in a field, and it's getting wet, you got to tell these players, that you can use that to your advantage because you're going to have more guys slipping, or falling. But I'm a huge believer that when the ground's wet and you can shoot that ball on the ground, it is so hard for those goalies to track that ball when it just skips across the turf.
Possession East.
So maybe the coaches can maybe remind the players of that. But Cade with the feed. Oh, and could not handle the pass by
Vanderbilt
Broger.
showing the wheels. Nice
Oh,
check
great
by Griffin
check.
Freeze.
Northland regains possession, pushes to the middle, trip,
That's
and
gonna be
you
another
better believe
flag.
that's a flag too. I would love to get to the statistic of how many penalties.
Yeah,
We've had
refs
this
throwing a
game.
lot of flags tonight, but I wouldn't say a whole lot of bad calls. I mean, it
No,
seems
no,
like
they're-
there's just been a lot of penalties here tonight.
They've also been consistent in their calls.
Absolutely.
Where the
Yes.
first game, there was a lot less calls and they were letting them play more.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, the good thing is it's consistent where tonight they've called everything.
Yeah.
And for both teams. So I don't think anyone's going to be upset with the refs. I think you'd like to see them play a little bit more, but
Mhm.
if they're going to call it, they got to call it.
Yeah.
As Northland gets on man up and turns the ball over, Shawnee Mission East will look to clear it. And going off of that, now if you guys are both current players, I've graduated from the college game as Shawnee Mission
nice
East
pass.
gets the pass, shot, and,
And
score.
fantastic
by Griffin
shot from Griffin.
Freeze.
Griffin Freeze.
He's excellent. He's a great player. He's going to score that open every time.
How many goals is that?
I want to say 5,
Five,
6
I
plus,
think. Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But going off of that, personally, because you guys are both Poles, would you rather see a game like Friday called tightly or called and just kind of let the boys play?
Let him play.
Let them play.
Easily.
I think, especially with these high-level guys, this is a championship game of high school lacrosse.
Mhm.
There's going to be big checks. There's going to be
Yes.
physical play, and you have to expect that. And a lot of it's going to be in control, especially with these two defenses. You're going to see they're both going to play extremely physical, but they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so if things get out of control, I think they should definitely call it a little tighter. But in the championship game, I think they're going to try and, especially if it's a close game, keep the emotions to themselves because
Mhm.
you never want to be a detriment to your team in that situation.
Absolutely. And, especially when it's championship game, like you're saying, high-level lacrosse, I mean, you don't want the game to be dictated by penalties. You want to be able to see these excellent
my-
lacrosse
what a
players
save.
dictate their own game. And that was a great save by Clemente, who
Gilman's
heaves it down the field. And
What a pass.
Wow.
Perfect. Rogers.
Did someone say discount? Double check. The Shawnee Mission East still has the ball and sticks are flying. Splits a
somehow holds
double
on to
shot,
it.
score!
Oh, goodness.
Oh. The ref might need to check for a hole in the net because wowee.
What a goal by Clay Fout.
Splits the double.
Backup attackman for
Sidearm.
Shawnee Mission East.
That's just an excellent play. Lucky to hold on to that ball there. I think retaining the ball after that check was more
Wow.
luck than skill, but that shot was all skill right there.
Sidearm just cranks it.
Absolutely.
Yes, please, I'll have more. And Shawnee Mission East is fired up right now, and you can tell they have a sense of where they know where they're gonna go, and it's gonna be right back here
And
on
also-
Friday night.
Also, you see a couple different players going in for East that didn't really play much in the first half when they weren't up by as much. But the cool thing about East is all those guys who were supporting them earlier now are getting a chance to go in and play.
Absolutely.
And all the guys who started the game are cheering just as loud as what they
Mhm.
were getting cheered for earlier in the game.
Yeah, and that's the law of equivalent exchange as far as lacrosse benches go.
Yes, and that has a lot to do about culture.
For sure.
Too.
That's what I was gonna say,
And Shawnee Mission East culture is very deep just because they've had a rich culture of winning in the past. They've been at the championship for the last few years, for the last years, right?
4, I think, in a row. They've
Yeah,
been in
4
the
in a row.
championship at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've won 2 of the last 3, and they're looking to make it 3 of the last 4. But on the other hand, you got to look at Northland and what they've done today. Although it might be disappointing that they're not in a position that they're going to be winning this game, they still have a lot of they have a really good culture, especially when it goes down to the youth level, and what they have at the youth level, and developing these players to give them a pipeline into the high school system. I mean, there's a bright future for Northland.
Oh yeah, it's a community.
Yeah. So and Scott Davis was able to talk to me, and he mentioned that he's directly involved in some of the youth programs as well too, and he Northland said they won't be having a large freshman class coming in as he would say big, but they had this program initiative called 20 for 20, where the high school players would stay after practice with the middle school players just for 20 minutes every single day, and the goal, or not every single day, but a few times a week, and the goal was to be, as a shot right there by Northland, saved by Clemente, but the plan would be,
my
big
God.
hit, and you hope the tempers don't flare here.
Yeah.
You want to see respectful.
RKO.
that was
CrossFit.
WWE move.
Randy Orton.
Ethan Hunt with, I don't know if we can get a replay on that, but did he jump into the hit?
I believe he did.
If we can't, it's not a big
Can we?
deal. But
Is it possible? No replay.
No.
Oh, we can?
I'd love to see it.
We'll see.
We'll see if we can get a replay here.
That was an odd play right there.
Oh,
my God.
Wow.
Thankfully, it looks no one's hurt. Thankfully, no one's hurt.
Yeah.
Thank gosh.
I think that was probably what Scott Davis was telling the team not to do in the timeout.
Yeah.
But he's saying 3 minutes left. Let's keep it classy. We had a good season. We're here. We made it. Do it for the seniors. Get everyone kind of involved in the last minute. But that's not what you want to see.
No, that's not what you want to see. It's not good for the game right now.
I tell you what, he stays on his feet right there. That could possibly be a clean hit. A big hit, but a clean hit.
It depends because
he's defenseless.
He's defenseless.
That's the only reason.
So if his head's turned and he's looking back,
it doesn't help you at all leaving your feet to go for that hit. That's a penalty or a foul in any sport.
And there's definitely a higher risk of getting injured on that play too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ethan Hunt's an emotional player. He's a good player, but he's definitely emotional, and that helps him a lot. But sometimes it can hurt.
So it looks like East has gotten in some of their bench players, and their starting players are rooting them on from the bench as they look to get a goal or two, maybe from some of the players that haven't seen the field as much, as they work the ball and man up, move the ball behind to Caden Reed as he goes in the crease, and they're going to call it no goal.
Two big boys bumping below GLE right there.
3 minutes left here in this semifinal matchup between Northland and Shawnee Mission East. Northland's going to be clearing the ball from their own end. And a deep pass. That's not going to go. Oh, but a good check.
Flag again.
And you guessed it, another flag.
I'd love to get that statistics on how many flags there's been this game.
Yeah.
I would love to know that. We might be here for another hour if this rate keeps up.
I certainly hope not.
Yeah, no. But anyway, so
2-man down.
Midnight lacrosse.
So the Lancers up 13-3 on Northland. You're looking forward to Friday, and looking kind of into a preview for the game. Shawnee Mission East versus the Rockhurst Hawklets, and I think it's going to be a good game. You got two offenses that are very smart and have a high IQ, and they both work the ball around the perimeter a lot. So I'm not sure if we're going to see a high-scoring game and as fast as this has been, with a lot of back and forth, turnovers, penalties. The shot and goal right there. Corbin Carroll with the goal from downtown, putting it down low. Looks like it might have been a 5-hole.
It looks like Northland's put a couple of their maybe bench players in as well. Maybe some seniors,
like
hopefully.
They've got a different goalie in there for sure. But
what what an opportunity, at least for some of these players who might not have seen the most of playing time, to get some opportunity to get out there and play just for a little bit, regardless of what the score is, regardless of who's going to move on and who's not. It's special to all these players.
For sure.
Face-off
There's a
initially
push.
won by
Loose ball push,
Northland. It's
but
going to be
they're
a play
gonna-
on, and they're going to get the ball. They look to push shot and appear to be saved by Clemente. And the Lancers will try and push the ball back up, but going back to the Rockhurst and the Lancers, it'll be a good game. I think that both of these teams are big guys. They have a lot of big athletes, and I think it's going to be one of those things where a lot of collisions collide as a shot and goal by
Connor
number
Jones,
25,
the Rock U
Connor
commit.
Jones, a Rockhurst
Another
University
absolute crank.
commit. We'll be happy to have him next year, that's for sure. But he's had a couple cranks from out there.
I think that's his second goal for sure. Not sure if
I think
there's
it was
more.
from the same spot too.
Yeah, I believe
cranking
so.
it sidearm to high or low to high.
Face off here for Shawnee Mission East and Northland with 1:45 left in this fourth quarter.
One
Clean win
backwards
for
by
Isaac.
Northland.
If you're Scott Davis, you're saying, why could this not have happened sooner?
Mm-hmm.
And there's number 65, freshman Michael Moore, whose older brother is actually senior captain Joseph Moore, number 34. Another deep hole.
Ground ball.
Ooh.
Another
Number
flag.
27,
Hit.
Joe Kraus, as he's drawing the flags.
Big boy's getting to work.
What do we say? There's more laundry on the field.
And this has become the longest 2 minutes of my life. I'm kidding. I'm really enjoying this. Thanks for the opportunity, Mr. Freeze.
Yes, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
This has been an absolute blast, and we're going to be even more happy to be back with you Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing we can definitely agree on is the two best teams are going to be in the championship.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I think Rockhurst, although the game was a little closer, they had most possession and just played an all-around more clean, better, higher IQ game.
Mm-hmm.
And East clearly has just been dominant, just the dominant team we knew they were beforehand, even with their bench players coming in. Some of these kids could be starters on most teams in the league.
Yeah.
When I think about what we've seen today between the Lancers and the Hawklets, is you have two teams who executed their game plan just the way they wanted to. You have both of their game plans were actually pretty similar. And Pembroke played a really good game against Rockhurst, which made it really close. But I'm excited to see what the game plans will be for both coaches, both very good and talented coaches, and how they're going to respond to how both teams played here tonight.
Under 30 seconds here on the game clock as the Lancers look to run out the clock, but they turn it over, and Northland will get one last chance to clear the ball.
It's nice to see also that this game hasn't, except for that one hit, hasn't really resorted to frustration.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a pretty clean game, which can be difficult when you're down a large deficit, such as Northland is right now.
Mm-hmm. Something you really don't want to see at this stage in the season is players getting injured. Win or lose, it's not something that you want to happen.
So
looks like
the game clock has not started running. Oh, there we go.
10 seconds left. The
They're
ball will be chucked again.
playing pinball, throwing it.
We are going back and forth.
You got to throw it down right now. If you're
We'll
number
see if
26,
this
you got to
last-
launch it.
Let's see if we can get 5 seconds of airtime on this last pass. Shot.
With the clock running out, the Shawnee Mission East Lancers will be advancing to the LAKC championship game this Friday.
Congratulations to Northland on a fantastic season. They have a great future to come. But Shawnee Mission East this year is just an absolute powerhouse, and that's what you saw tonight. Just an absolute clinic on how to play a good, clean lacrosse game.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Northland has a really bright future, especially with the future kids coming up. But Shawnee Mission East, Rockhurst, it's going to be a great game, and we're going to be happy to be here with you Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
at 8:15 here at UMKC Durwood Stadium.
Thank you so much for watching. Jack Mahoney.
Rob McCarthy.
Pat McCarthy.
We will see you soon.
Get home safe.